and everybody will be refreshed now after a week's break. It's great not to have a midweek game, isn't it? And you have a full week to concentrate on the match ahead against Telford.
Yeah, it was a welcome break, to be honest with you. We needed it after them run of games, and it couldn't have come at a better time for us. But now we've got to make sure that we're minds on this game on Saturday and get them 3 points to keep us within that chasing pack.
Yeah, Telford are just below us in the table, but that doesn't really mean very much, does it? They're still a decent team.
No, Telford, I think they were expected to be up there at the start of the season. They just missed out on the playoffs last year, and I think it was on the last game of the season. And they lost one of the main target players, which was Udo, who ended up going to Shrewsbury, I believe. But they brought in some quality in Aaron Williams, so they're going to be a difficult proposition. I know what the Kate will love. Played them a few times over the years, and they're a good side, work hard, and they're always effective up top. So we've got to be at our best, but there's no excuses from us. You can see we've had that good rest. We've worked on a few things, working on set players constantly because the quality hasn't been good enough of late. So we've done a little bit of that to keep the lads nice and fresh. So tonight we'll train again, put in a good shift, and hopefully put in a good performance on Saturday.
Yeah, you mentioned set players there. They're so important, aren't they, these days? Because if two teams are matching each other in terms of skill on the field, you just need that little extra edge. And unfortunately, that's what Walsall did, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I think it was our quality that's been lacking. It's not as if the movement hasn't been there. It was the quality of the deliveries wasn't there. It was too floaty. It wasn't in the areas where we normally want to put them. So we just had to refresh the lads' memory and went through them. So we didn't have as tough a training session on Tuesday night. It was just getting them going again and getting them switched on to what's required of these set players.
And as well, you be saying to them, please don't take your foot off the gas, lads, when you're on top, like what happened against Gainsborough last week. Okay, we got away with it, but it could have been costly, couldn't it?
Yeah, I said that in the dressing room straight after the game. We've got to stop that. We've got to nip that in the bud, because it's not the first time that's happened. It's happened on numerous occasions, even when we've been 2-0 up. Even when we've been drawn a game, we've ended up letting the team back in. I would probably say you look at Brackley away. We could have probably been 1-0 up, took the foot off the gas and went off 2-0 down in a matter of seconds. So these kind of things are still bugging us, and we've got to get them right, but that's mentality rather than anything else. So it's up to the lads to make sure that they understand what's required.
After last week's game, you mentioned about possibly strengthening the squad in a difficult transfer market. Have you had any success in that respect this week?
It was really close at one point, and then it all broke down again, but it's difficult. I am in constant negotiations and speaking to a club at the minute about one or two players. If I can get them in, great. It might be next week now, or it might be for Saturday. Be nice if I could, because it's something different. It's got to be like I keep saying, it's got to be the right mould of player. What we need another number 9 that'll do the hold-up play and take the physical aspect away from Adam Campbell and Tomo, so I can have them running onto the ball. And then I need another fresh pair of legs that can. I look at the lads, and Justin's back, which is great, but then who else we got after that? So it's just to try and keep the lads on their toes as well, and making sure that they know the places aren't guaranteed. So if I can bring a couple of fresh pairs of legs in, great. If it's one, brilliant. If it's two, I'll be over the moon with it. So constantly working on it. They've got to be different to what we've got, and the two that I'm looking at are people say, why not play Justin up top? Justin's not a back to goal player for me. He's got to be coming onto the ball. He's got to utilise what he's got, which is his pace. He likes coming onto the ball and running onto flick-ons and stuff. So that's where I see him being utilised as best. So Tomo's the best at it. He is the best at it, but I'm taking so much away from his game. Adam Campbell needs someone alongside him to do that. So it's just finding that different person to play alongside all these lads, and fortunately there's not many of them, and they do cost money.
Well, I'm just going to say, you're talking about a budget here. It's there's maybe a wrong perception out there. Just because we've had a cup run, we've got money to spend, and that's not quite right, is it?
No, listen, people have got to remember we've got these 3 long-term injuries, and the board were fully behind me and allowing me to bring players in to replace these 3 long-term injuries. So it was a little bit of a gamble. Yes, they backed us, and it probably paid off because it's covered for now, but like I said when I come in, I'm not going to spend money just for the sake. I've got to be very careful in what I'm bringing into this club, and I've got to make sure I keep getting that value for money, as I say. And so far, touch wood, I think we've done that. So we've just got to keep that right. Can't have people taking advantage of the situation because we had a cup run and they think we've got money to spend. It's not. There's so much more behind the scenes. The money needs to be spent on, not just the squad. So I understand that, so I'm not pushing for it too hard because we've got great footballers in there. But if we can get that missing piece, then I'll be chuffed to bits with that.